Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the exciting, challenging, and honestly, super rewarding career of a paralegal. So if you've ever been curious about the legal world, but maybe weren't sure where you'd fit in, this explainer is going to be your roadmap.
All right, let's kick things off with a number that usually gets everyone's attention: money. The median annual salary for a paralegal? It typically lands somewhere between $51,000 and $55,000. But hey, keep in mind that's a median. Experienced paralegals can earn a whole lot more, which makes this a seriously viable career path, right from the get-go.
And it's not just about a solid salary. This career is a huge opportunity. We're not just talking about a stable job, we're talking about a growing one. You see, the U.S. Department of Labor actually projects that the paralegal profession is going to grow much faster than the average for all occupations. You know what that means? Strong demand and really excellent job prospects for people who have the right training.
So, to make sense of all this, we've broken it down into 5 key parts. We'll start with the big picture, then we'll get really specific about what a paralegal actually is. After that, we'll map out how you can become one, cover the skills you absolutely need, and finally, look at why the future is looking so good for this profession.
So let's jump into part 1, a dynamic, growing profession. You've got high demand, plus law firms and corporations are giving paralegals more and more responsibility. All that together makes this one of the most exciting and expanding professions in the entire legal world.
That brings us to part 2. What is a paralegal really? I mean, the term gets thrown around a lot, but what it actually means is super specific and really important. So let's look at the official definition to get on the same page.
Okay, here it is, the core of the role, straight from the American Bar Association. A paralegal performs specifically delegated substantive legal work for which a lawyer is responsible. The magic words there are substantive legal work. See, this isn't about administrative support. It's about real, hands-on legal work, all done under an attorney's supervision.
So what does that substantive legal work actually look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, here's just a quick sample. One day, you might be interviewing clients and witnesses. The next, you could be digging into legal investigations, or maybe even drafting contracts and wills. Paralegals are really the organizational and operational backbone of a legal team, handling all these critical tasks that keep cases moving forward.
Now, with all of those important responsibilities, there is one bright, uncrossable line, and it's a big one. While paralegals do incredibly complex work and have tons of knowledge, they can never, ever give legal advice. That job is only for the attorney. So the main thing to remember is that a paralegal's role is to support and extend what an attorney does, not to replace their legal judgment.
Okay, moving right along to part 3, your path to practice. So you're interested. How do you actually become a paralegal? Let's walk through the different ways you can get there.
The really good news is there isn't just one single rigid path. You've got options. You could enter the field with a 2-year associate's degree, a full 4-year bachelor's degree, or if you already have a degree in something else, you can do a certificate program. And for those who are really ambitious, there are even master's degree programs out there. Now, here's something that trips people up all the time. So let's make it crystal clear. A paralegal certificate is what you get from a school when you finish a program. Think of it like a diploma. A paralegal certification is something totally different. That's a professional credential you earn by passing a really tough exam. So the certificate shows you've been trained. The certification proves you've hit a high level of professional skill.
So, who gives out these professional certifications? Well, they come from major national groups like NALA, that's the Paralegal Association, and the NFPA. Now, getting one of these credentials, like the Certified Paralegal, or CP, isn't required in most states, but let me tell you, it proves your expertise and can make you a much more attractive candidate on the job market.
Which brings us to part 4, the professional's toolkit. So, beyond the degrees and the fancy certifications, what does it really take to be great at this job? Let's break down the core skills you're going to need. First up, you've got to have strong analytical skills. I mean, the legal world is just a giant puzzle of complex facts, detailed rules, and tons of evidence. A great paralegal can take all that jumbled information, organize it, and think about it logically to help build a case. It's all about connecting the dots that nobody else sees. Next, communication. You know, the legal field is really a communications profession at its heart. You have to be an expert listener with clients, you need to speak clearly, you have to read these super dense legal documents and actually understand them, and your writing has to be flawless. Seriously, poor communication can sink a case, so being excellent here is a must. You can probably imagine. Law offices are crazy busy places. There are documents flying everywhere, tons of deadlines to track, and really complex procedures to follow. So if you're one of those people who just loves to create order out of chaos, you will be an absolute superstar on any legal team. That skill is always in high demand.
And in today's world, you've got to be tech savvy. It's not optional anymore. Paralegals are often the go-to tech experts in a law firm, handling everything from case management software to powerful online research tools. The more comfortable you are with technology, the more valuable you're going to be.
And last but definitely not least, in fact, this might be the most important one of all, is confidentiality. This isn't just a skill, it's a sacred, mandatory duty. You are going to have access to a client's deepest, most sensitive secrets. Breaking that trust can get you fired, get the firm sued, and pretty much end your career. It has to be protected, no matter what.
Okay, we've made it to our final section, Part 5, The Future is Bright. Let's put all the pieces together and see what the outlook for this career is and what your next steps could be.
So the outlook? It's fantastic. Remember that much faster than average growth we talked about? Well, the reason for it is pretty simple economics. Employers are hiring more paralegals because it's a smart, cost-effective way to get legal work done more efficiently. And that creates a strong, steady demand for people with formal training and skills.
To wrap this all up, I want to leave you with this piece of advice from William McSorley, a longtime paralegal program director. He just says, so make a plan, try to stick to it, and start today. It's so simple, but it's so true. Don't let yourself get stuck just thinking about it. The most important thing is just to take that first step.
So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. After everything we've talked about, from the salary and job growth to the skills you need and the different educational paths you can take, what's going to be the first step in your plan?